So this is the final video that I'm gonna do in the little series about the issue with the homeless population, the basuqueros in La Dorada, and the pump house, which is, as you can see, is designed to remove a hell of a lot of water, because I imagine that when it rains, that those hills in the previous videos, all of the water runs down and it fills up quite high. They've got a big grate system on the back there, that metal, those metal bits going down. I'll walk around to stop rubbish going in. The problem is you've got sewage going into the Magdalena River, which is terrible. Look at the colour of it now. It's teeming with insects. There's billions of mosquitoes in there. Half of the things have been stolen apparently because it's not been manned, and it's a serious public health hazard, a real hazard. It's disgusting and it shouldn't be going anyway. The problem is this wall was built to protect the city from the Magdalena flooding, when what they could have done is they could have spoken to the Dutch engineers and put in like big sluice gate that would open up normally, allowing the river to run through, and when the river comes high on an automatic system would close the gate, thus stopping the river backing up. I imagine that's why they've done it after my having a look at the situation. So you've got a river that has been blocked, that is got raw sewage going into it, or is black water coming from houses, and is in a big lagoon, which even if you were to pump it into the river, even just the thought of that, doing that, it makes me actually want to vomit. Like, I felt nauseous then when I said that, when the idea crossed my mind. I was like, oh god, because it's that polluted. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's just terrible. So I say, oh, knock it all down. Knock all the houses down where the concrete, where the real crappy houses are at the bottom, which are not, they're like slum dwellings, they're not proper houses, and take all the concrete out, green it all up, remove all of this, and let the river flow. Let the river flow. At the moment they want to turn the pump on, those things will open as the pump comes on, and all of the shit will go in the river. You see the level of the river. So at one point, like, all of that would have been a natural like habitat for loads of like birds, obviously, and animals, and a good place to fish. So they've tried to resolve a problem, and then they've created another big problem. I think that's a genius solution. Just like on a canal, you know, the old canals, we've got loads in Europe, in England, Manchester, famous for it. Canals have got the gates that open up and close. So when we get the big rains and the river comes up the Magdalena, the gates shut, it can back up behind a bit. We get rid of all the slum houses that are on the bottom level where all the people are smoking the crack. We turn that back into the wetlands area that it should be, and we even allow the river to do its natural thing, backing up, you know, up until the point where it's not disturbing the town, thus, you know, in the natural rhythm of how it's been designed by Big G, OG. How about that for a solution? Genius. Yeah, thank you. This is the thing with having, like, applying knowledge, you know, knowledge, and just it all being there. And with my experience with working with AI, it's expanded my capacity, my creative capacities and abilities. It's amazing when it's put to use for full creativity, and you're not just like give it an idea and then allow it to do its thing. I write like so much. Like, you know, I use it, I write, and then I get to tidy up and then bring ideas in. But like I say, applied knowledge, isn't it? You know, that's like, that would have cost how much less, right? And you wouldn't have any dirty water behind. I had an idea this morning. I was thinking you could even pump up the Magdalena River, have a big pump system going up to where all the bad stream is initially, right, to clean it all out. Clean it out good and proper first, but you could use the river water like on a real high, like pressure jet, like just flush it all out. But yeah, that's what I suggest. You take all this construction out, all the pump and everything is big pumps, great. I'm sure you put it to use somewhere else for another project. It's not working anyway. Even the system as it is, it doesn't work to do the job it's supposed to do, because you're still going to get dirty black water behind, you know, whatever you do. And it's black because it's not flowing, and it's black because you've got the houses along the bottom of Dorada, along with all the crap of the town, going into what looks like just a small stream. Could increase the flow of the stream artificially. You know, if it's just a bit of a trickle and it's not very nice, you could get a big pump. It wouldn't be half the size of this, it wouldn't even be a quarter, but you get a pump, right? You get a nice big pump down here running on solar, right? If it's only a small natural flow, you get all the houses putting the affected microorganisms down the drains, which they ferment from the rice water like they did in Japan. When you wash your rice in the morning, or in the afternoon, when you wash your rice, you got the carbohydrate, the starch in the water. You put your microorganisms in that, you leave it for a day in a warm place, and then you flush, put that down the drain. We can do that immediately, like tomorrow. There's a foundation for the EM, a Catholic foundation that I bought some effective microorganisms from, and they'd managed the project. I did it in Manchester with a lake. Made the mud balls. You take mud, you put the microorganisms in the mud, and like molasses, a bit of molasses, and you let them ferment, and then you throw them in or all around here, and they'll ferment the bottom of the riverbank and start turning it all clean and nice. The birds love it, the bees love it, everybody loves it. Let the river flow. It's a disaster. It's an absolute planning disaster. I don't know when it was built. I don't know who paid for it. I don't know who constructed it. It doesn't matter. The man who planned it, or the group that planned it, they want the heads testing. What school of engineering and city planning did they go to? Sorry, lads and lasses, but cost a hell of a lot of money. You created a national disaster. It's going into your national river, in the place where the galleons first landed and took Colombia. Like one of the last places, isn't it? Here, and I think they managed to get up to Onda, right? Beautiful. It is a beautiful place, but it's very ugly as well. Like Dorada is very ugly. Right, I'll keep this short. I'll go now. That was the final video. I think we need to make it beautiful. A bit more like how it was when the Spanish arrived, the Rome, you know, and they took it by force. I think there's elements of the area that we could bring back very much so to as best we can, and that would be a good first project. Letting the water flow and making sure that it's not polluted upstream anymore, and increasing the flow artificially. I'll be up for that. I think that's a really good idea. You know, use the Magdalena River as like, get it all flowing and make a nice water features along, and little ponds and loads of birds coming in, and plant up the land next to it with forest and walkways and stuff for kids, bicycles and swings and slides. And it won't cost much. It costs you a couple of million, literally. Just got to knock all this stuff down first. Knock all this down, get on it. Won't cost much, but it's very for the amount of money to put into the project, for the returns would be phenomenally high. And that's the thing with permaculture, should be like that. That's why we think a lot about the things before we you know, we do anything. It's like it's all up there. hours and hours and hours, you know, contemplating. That's what I've done with this job, starting with like only finding out that there's a crack alley like 10 minutes from my house. Only found out 3 weeks ago. I didn't know. I've seen them around town, but I didn't know there was a point where it's all going on. Thanks to my friend, well, not thanks, because I was looking at renting a house just on the back of it. Would have backed on to it just over the side of the road. I didn't rent it, I'm glad. But that floods as well. When it rains a lot, that street floods, so there's a little flood issue going on in the area and all that. But yeah, we have to open this up. It's so sad you block the river like that. It's just sad. It's sad. It smells very sad. And I did say in a previous video, my pal is getting like fevers and bad stomach and achy joints. It's like it's coming from the mosquitoes, you know. It's disgusting. So yeah, that's it. That is the end of my little proposals, which have gone into quite a number of topics, because I've got a lot going on in life at the moment, and everything. I've got a lot of like intermixed like situations to deal with, and affecting each other. It's quite complicated, but you know, it's my attitude with the complications is it's so complicated what I do. My attitude, my philosophy, what I've picked up and what I've understood is, if you just take like one day at a time as best I can, meditate, as I've been doing a hell of a lot of 4 months, but like make sure I do my meditation practice so I'm feeling relaxed, I'm able to deal with things as they appear, and that's what I do as situations arise. And it's daily, pretty much is daily, you know, unless I take a day off. Like yesterday, it was very quiet, it's beautiful, no emails coming in, just responding in a relaxed manner to the things that need attending in the law. And this project is like horrible and dark and grimy as it is on the one hand, because it's really like heavy. The people are in like a hell. They're in a hell zone. You know, the kids on the street that are smoking the bazooka, they're in hell. I had a chat. I've been down there a few times, as I said. Took the videos a little bit. But this is what I like doing. I've always liked really big projects, fascinated that how when we mobilize as human beings, right, with the force of positive creation like as the focus between us, with the intelligence and the intention, the resources, like we can really switch things around very, very fast. And Colombia is one of the places on planet Earth. It's heaven and hell. It's received some of the worst abuse, and had the worst abuse happen within its territory since the Civil War started, and before, going all the way back to when the galleons first landed here and, you know, started doing the thing, the conquistadors. And he's got this big heart, this really like big heart energy. The amount of times I've been just, when I've been in a real dire situation, or a real dire situation is just developing, like punch on the bike, whatever it is, lots and lots of things actually. People just appear and offer help. It's amazing, like really helpful. I'd say possibly out of all the countries, I'm not just saying this, Senor President, because I'm trying to get you to get my projects, our projects. I'm not buttering you up. I've been to a lot of different countries around the world. Look in my eyes, honestly, I'll say it's like one of the most helpful, if not the most helpful, warm countries when you've got a problem, for strangers just wanting to engage and help you. That's what I'd say about Colombia, which has been my adopted country for the last 9 years, isn't it now? Okay, so that's it. Let's get this water flowing. Let's get it clean. And get the Rivers of Peace project going over. We've got our Got villages to build over on the other side to begin with, and up the back there possibly as well. Got it all going on. Beautiful. It is beautiful yard. Beautiful river. Beautiful, beautiful river. Should be venerated. Literally venerated, you know, like in India. They venerate the river. They do puja, which is a sacrifice by giving flowers and pouring fresh water into the river, saying thanks to God, thanks to the life, gratitude, blessings in the morning, ringing the bells and incense and saying thank you to the river. Thank you, river. Thank you, Magdalena, Ma Magdalena. Thank you for the life. I'm sorry for all the shit that we put in you, but we're cleaning up our rocks. We are slowly, slowly. It's getting better. And thank you for the life. This river's brought all the life to the whole of Colombia, right? Right, on that note, I'm gonna go and have caldo de pescado with the bagre at the restaurant up the way there. I love it. And have don't know what I'm gonna have. Might have a strawberry barriga. Love that as well. Very nice restaurant. Food's good here. Dorada should be on the map globally. It's going to be on the map globally as a primo tourist destination. All the water sports on the river, you know, more restaurants, different restaurants, international, loads of foreigners here, all the adventure sports. I've said with my projects that I've put in, like that's what the solutions are to the problems and the poverty, is just that, is like go hard on the tourism, get a lot of people here and bring in loads of work, you know, for the youth doing the things. That's great, especially like with the horses, you know. It's like amazing culture still we've got here in Colombia with the horses. So like rich, you know, they're utilized because like it's all farmland. I'd hate to see robots taking over and doing that side of the work in the campo. It'd be crap. I think we need a moratorium on the robots in the campo. The project that I've just discovered that my son's been involved in, against my knowledge, it would have been against my will. That's why it was against my knowledge. That's why he was abducted, thanks to his mother and everybody else. But they've got like they're exploring, like, I've not looked into it deep, but it looks like they're utilizing robotics in the campo. Like, why would you do that when you can just go and, if you want to do that, you bring robots in.